Good evening, everybody. I'm Noreen McClendon. I am your facilitator and host, and this is Free to Heal, where we are formerly incarcerated and loved ones, and we come together every week so that we can heal from the wounds that were inflicted on all of us as a result of mass incarceration. Um, got a full house tonight. We got some folks that haven't been with us in a while. I just want to shout out Rufus and Chester for not being here. We got a new guy, person A, and he's with us, and we're very, very A in the house, A in the house. We're happy to have him with us. Um, One of the topic was requested about, and I want all of you to think about this topic and the importance of healthy relationships and how they affected you either coming home from incarceration or dealing with how the importance of healthy relationships affected you coming home from incarceration, or how unhealthy elements put challenges in your way. It sparks up from Miss Cheryl already. Go ahead.
Ask, can you?
So the question is,
Yeah.
How has the importance of healthy relationships affected you, or whether they were good or not? How has it affected your transition from incarceration?
Since you've been home,
Since you've been home.
it F's you up.
Okay, elaborate.
When you're in incarceration, you get to know yourself in there. And my thought is this: I have a friend, she did 10 years. I told her, because you didn't have a girlfriend or you didn't mess with an officer, you're going to go outside, you get to know yourself. She started messing with a guy. As soon as she got out for 5 years, she could not function. You have to, you know yourself inside, but you have to get to know yourself when you're free, because this is what doesn't happen for a lot of people. They don't get physical touches. So the first person touched them, they gone. And they think they in love and stuff, and it's just you're craving the attention. And then it's the wrong stuff, right?
Focus on wrong
Those
stuff.
those don't really work. They don't really work because, like we always say, the people don't really know you yet. They think you're the same person. Or if you meet somebody new, they find out you know, it's like they gonna dog you out because you just coming home, and I can do you any kind of way because you accept stuff because you don't have nothing. You need stuff, and it's that kind of thing. And I do advise people not to not to date when you first get out. My friend, I have two friends, went to the halfway house, got pregnant in the halfway house. The first girl, that man went back to prison and she had to raise that boy by herself. He in his 20s. Daddy ain't been back home yet. And the other one, she had two kids by this one, and he would be with other women and a whole bunch of other stuff. So they're, and I'm sorry, but it's like he wanted to continue in the lifestyle he lived. And the man
still have her.
Yeah, and he married her. Well, they got married. So
Uh,
Go ahead.
I have a perspective on, so I agree with in terms of intimate relationships. Maybe that's not the right time to get in
I'm
relationships.
kidding about these people, child. My baby came. I gotta get me a hug.
My son.
That's my little son. My baby. Thank you.
My big baby. Thank you, son.
Diane said it.
We don't care.
I'm sorry.
So I do think positive relationships have been everything to me.
Okay.
And so like I think of you as a positive relationship, or my relationship I developed with Diane. Like when I first came out, I was wearing the same sweats that I had from the inside, and I didn't have any clothes. And this is a real story. I found a program that would give me $100 worth of clothes at Ross, right? And I was so excited to get to Ross and then get this certificate from this organization, just because I was tired of wearing the same clothes. But my halfway house didn't approve it. And so I thought I was going to go and get these clothes. And I was so happy to get these clothes. But then I got a call from Noreen, like, where the F are you? And it was a healthy relationship checking me at a time that I needed to be checked, to say, listen, don't get derailed by these short-term challenges, because healthy relationships will help you see around the corner even when you can't see clearly.
Yeah.
I was so short-term, short-sighted that I didn't even know what I didn't know, and how being out of bounds could have sent me back in just because I wanted to have fresh underwear. I want to have fresh clothes and fresh, stuff to wear to work. And not even like fresh, like dope,
Not
like
fresh to death.
not fresh to
You're
death,
talking
but
about
just,
clean, new.
yeah, I was tired of
Yeah.
wearing the same pair of sweatpants
Right.
for 2 weeks.
Right.
But actually it was 3 weeks at that point in time that I got a job. And so I do think healthy relationships have been instrumental in terms of uh, giving me clarity and a different way of thinking that I wasn't familiar with, because this is my first time coming out, and having people like that even to check me to say, slow down, let's focus on this, that, and the other. I think have been, I would have been lost, or maybe been out of bounds and maybe back in, if I didn't have, healthy relationships in my life. Not intimate, to your point, but different types of relationships.
Right. And one of the things, so it was interesting too, because with that particular story, just to show you how when you come home, you have a focus. And most people have a plan, or they thought they envisioned what it was going to be like when they got out. And 99% of the time, it don't go exactly according to plan, right? Very rarely does it ever go exactly according to plan. But he didn't realize that Diane and I offered the day before to give him money to buy clothes. And look, that little $100, me and Diane was gonna break him off. But he was so focused on what he thought or what he envisioned, he didn't know he didn't have to worry about the people. And then the halfway house, we know that they are, particularly the for-profit halfway houses, are very much designed to create challenges for you. It's a minefield to send you back to prison. Because remember what we talked about in the last couple of weeks. The reality is institutions make their money off of bodies. Okay, so they don't want you to succeed and get through probation or parole or any of those things. Certainly not halfway house. So when you come home, most of you that have been here for a while, you know that whenever we have people who are fresh out and they've just come home, one of the first things I say to them is be patient with yourself and be patient with the process. Why? Because everything's not going to go exactly according to plan. The key is to have people around you, to your point, B, is to have people around you who can slow you down. That's why I record these. That's why I post them. Not to be seen. It is because I tell all you guys been around a while know I say, I always get this feeling that there's somebody in Iowa who doesn't have a support group, who might see this, that it might help them. It might keep them from feeling like, number one, that I'm the only person going through this. We often, in the midst of our trauma, believe that we're the only ones experiencing what we're experiencing. Nobody understands what I'm going through. If you come from a family of people who have not had experience with incarceration, they don't know about that. They may not know what you're going through. I wrote another book, and I gotta order a copy of it. But it is a reentry relationship survival guide. But in there, I'm talking about how all of the for the person that is receiving a person coming home, you have no idea a lot of times what they're going through. Oftentimes, people don't want to tell you what they're feeling and what they're experiencing. My son's friend did like 5 years, his best friend, and he came home, and I told him, come see me, baby. And he came to see me, and I said, well, how you doing? Oh, Mom, I'm good, I'm good. So I started asking the questions. So how you sleeping there? Oh, no, I don't sleep too good because it's hot in the house, and I'm just grateful that they want to let me they let me stay there, so I don't want to make no waves. And how are you? How's the job hunt going? Like all of these things, and I start asking questions, and little bit by little bit, that I'm doing fine. Transitioned into a lot of challenges that he was experiencing, but he was trying to handle them by himself. He was trying to handle them alone. And that is a challenge that we shouldn't be doing. We should not try to be alone. That's again why I do this. Yes, ma'am.
They when I first came home and they send you to all those programs to help you The one guy, it was a black guy, told me he had been in for 18 years and he had been in and out, but he did a straight 18. He said one thing, he said, when you come home, he said, and you need help, you should take it and stop letting your pride get in the way. He said, because that's what happened. He said, that's why I went back so many times.
How many
'Cause I
times a
wouldn't
month do you
accept
say that, Diane?
help.
Don't be afraid to ask for help.
Every day.
Don't be afraid to ask for
And
help.
what you're saying about because the process is slow sometimes. When sometimes they have me help men, and there was one man who came out and nothing was in his name. Nothing was in his name. And I know to take you down to King, because they're gonna give you an affidavit once
Okay.
they see medical sees you. And we went to Social Security and we went to King, we came back to Social Security, they made another appointment, and he said, you know what? I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. And it was a 4-month wait he had to do to wait for his stuff to come from prison and stuff. And then he just gave up. And I wish I had known to say, even though I said some stuff, but I didn't say that. Trust the process.
Yeah.
In the process, I told him stuff is slow out here.
And I've been, I think because, I've been dealing with the Francisco homes, doing groups every week since July of 2013 with men who were formerly serving life sentences. So a large portion of my communication has been with people who did long stretches, right? And because they lost so much time, they are trying to do what you say is impossible and you're correct about, which is make up for lost time. You cannot make up for lost time. You don't get that time back. That is the tragedy, particularly when you hear about people who were wrongly convicted and did 30, 15, 20, all this long time for something they didn't do. You don't get that time back. And so, but it is also, look at it, sometimes a challenge can be an opportunity. And I think that is an opportunity. It creates an opportunity to totally reinvent yourself. You can become whoever you want to be at this time. You have the opportunity to change whatever it was. And we talk here a lot of times about when you go into incarceration, particularly if you do a long period of time, the legend of who you are grows. If you were the worst person ever, you was the biggest monster ever and they scared of you. And nobody wants you to be like that, or they want you to be exactly like you are when you went into prison. And neither one is going to be true. Prison changes everybody in one way or another. Nobody goes into prison and comes out the same person. I don't care who you are. I don't care what a shorter period of time it is. Something changes in everybody in incarceration. So the person you are while you're incarcerated, you can't be that person because you can't 602 your boss. Okay? You can't write, that's write up. What's the write up in the Fed, Cheryl?
A shot.
A shot? Okay. You can't shot your boss, right? It's a whole nother language. It's like the military. Incarceration is like the military.
They can't go on a hunger strike.
Yeah, no, the hunger strike is not.
Not out here. You gotta go to work.
So in the military, like prison, like the military has its own language, politics, hierarchy, structure, and so you can't be who you were incarcerated. So now when you come out, who are you? And for most people, they've spent a lot of time thinking about who they would like to be when they come out. And because you got a lot of time to think in there.
I see.
So you think to yourself, who do I want to be? And what happens is that the concept that may not go as you thought will send some people, it sends some people on a tailspin. They lose hope.
Yes, they do.
They lose hope in the process. What are you doing over there?
Eating cookies.
Okay. For those of y'all that don't, they are cutting up in the peanut gallery. It actually is just Miss Roberta.
Yes.
I'm just calling, like I said, she cutting up over there in the corner, and I don't know what's going on, y'all. Rufus, you should come in person, because I'm gonna need you to referee some stuff. You ain't been here in a
I
minute.
scared of Rufus
And-
ass. Sorry.
The fact that I raised my hand to share. And then
Did you?
guys did- I
You
did.
did
I had
not.
my back turned this way.
No, you stepped, you had.
Oh,
I was
honey.
talking and I did like this.
Oh, honey,
Now
I
you're on
didn't
the
see
spot.
you, sweetheart.
Look at me.
No,
Yeah.
She
please.
doing this, cause now she ain't gonna say.
No, please, but you know what? Please do say what you was gonna say.
Let me do it. 'Cause, you know, I raised my hand. I tried to be appropriate, but B stood and said whatever he said.
I didn't even see the hand.
I didn't see it either.
Because I'm invisible.
No, you're not. You're away from us, and you should come where she could see
So
you.
here's the thing. What
Okay, go
I was
ahead.
trying to talk about was,
Okay.
Cheryl was talking about relationships. So I shared a little bit about myself. I was wanting to talk this way because I really didn't want to turn around. Yeah.
The people
So-
can't see.
And you can say,
The people can't even see. you on
here's the
TV.
thing. It's true about the relationship thing because I got into an unhealthy. So I did all that time and I thought I had worked on a lot of things about myself, but clearly I hadn't. And one was relationships. So the one thing I did know is I wasn't going back to gang banging, none of that, but somebody that I knew from the past, which was just a friend, just a homeboy, he courted me. So that was one of the things I wanted, to be dated.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what happened. Like, he came all the way to San Diego, all the way, but always in the back of my head, I'm thinking, this shouldn't be happening. But it felt good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so it went all the way till I wind up coming back to Los Angeles. Now I'm here, I got a place. And so the support of it all was wonderful. But what I wasn't realizing is I had got into the most unhealthy as stuff there was. Like I found myself, we had like really broke up, but didn't break up because I where I lived, we couldn't possibly have done that. So what that caused was me winding up being in a relationship secretly.
Mm.
And I'ma just be because I can say it today, like it's whatever.
Okay.
It's whatever. But it happened like that, and it happened for a long time.
Right.
Until while I was creating healthy relationships with not anyone, like with not intimate, but with girlfriends, I then began to become better. And then people were stepping in. That's how I wound up where I am today. So that's what it is. It's so healthy.
So I want to share for those of you who may not know and may not understand how huge that is.
Roberta was gonna kill us all. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I had to say it. Sorry.
Sorry. Okay, so it keeps flipping.
They did just have.
So
Like what is it?
when Roberta first started coming, we talked about this, but
Tell her time, please.
okay, so Roberta did 24 and what? 24 and a half?
No, just I did 24 years. I was away from
Okay.
what is it called? Civilization.
Civilization.
Okay,
For
for 20,
24 years.
okay, so for 24 years, Roberta was gone 24 years. So in any event, though, the issue for us and the reason why there's clapping and everything about her saying what she said, first of all, the fact that she raised her hand and wanted to talk, that is huge here because Roberta was very closed off, like she would sit here like this. And me, I didn't notice it. It took the other people in the room to realize, and that's why Diane always saying Roberta's gonna kill her, she's gonna kill her. Because they felt like Roberta was really bottled up and had a lot of anger and a lot of frustration and all of that. And I believe that was true at some level, right? But
And I digress because when I walked in, I felt something so totally different.
with Roberta being here,
It was you came after she was here for a minute.
oh yeah, so that
Okay.
so that's probably what it was. What did you
feel the
perceive?
room? I'm not quick to share me.
Right,
And so
yeah, and that's accurate.
Yeah, but you wasn't saying nothing about sharing, just your posture.
It was the body language,
Your body
and I will tell you
language.
this too. I will tell you this too, Roberta.
Yeah.
I will tell you this too, Roberta. That the other side of it is Di has a gift. And she and I talked about this the other night. She has a capacity to see anger in other people that they think is below the surface. It's like a radar with her. And there will be people walking down the street and she'll tell you stuff like that. Oh, that angry, right? But what I have found is that she's right. And okay, it's a lot of times Di be right about stuff, and I hate it when that happens. Can I just say that? Can I just tell the world
That ain't nice, man.
I hate it because she's always right about the stuff I really don't want her to be right about. But in any event, she was concerned, genuinely concerned for Roberta's mental health and everything, and that there were anger issues and things that were potentially explosive. And you know who else picked it up was James, right?
Tell the truth.
And so I'm just saying, and he did. No, he did say it.
And fight.
He did say it. And y'all can say what
I
y'all
was
want.
never angry. I don't believe.
No,
No.
When she said the posture,
Yeah,
that's what you're talking about. Remember you just used to, and then
Yeah.
remember you used to say to her,
like this.
why you picking on me?
When
Right.
I'm angry, I cuss a lot. And
No,
then
no,
I
not
wanna-
that kind of anger.
Not that kind of anger. It was
The anger
simmering.
we come from prison with and stuff about.
Simmering.
And I think that there was, and I'm not speaking for Roberta, but I don't think that I came too much after you guys. I did come after, but I don't think there was that span. We discussed it. I saw something totally different, and that's just me. But what I saw was a mother's stigma, a woman's stigma, and because we often have discussed all of us in the room being Black in our neighborhoods, in our community, there was the expectation that the man was going to jail. There was never the expectation that the woman was going to jail. I am a solo single kid in the 70s with my mom being in jail. That wasn't the thing. So even though the crime rate elevated, I don't think that we gave grace to the women. And I felt more like she was drowning in a dark secret, and it wasn't a secret, but drowning in a dark secret versus her being angry. But that's just me. But that was kind of like conversations that she and I were having in that particular at that particular time, and how we kind of like had forged that relationship, because I just see something totally different. Not taking away from your gift at all, but I saw something
I
totally
think when you
different.
came, she had been coming for a while.
Yeah.
She's been coming for a while.
And I will
And she
say
can't
this,
open.
and I will say this. I don't want it to feel like we just doing a whole Roberta breakdown or whatever. But I think it's important because the other side of that is, as much as it may be uncomfortable, I think it's important because you're probably not the only person, Roberta, that has felt that way. Right. And that people have misunderstood. So the scary thing is how it could be misread, whatever was going on, right? Whatever you perceive, or because you know better than you're the only expert on you, right? You're the expert on you. We can only surmise based on what we see.
Right.
But with that being said, though, your testimony will be somebody's survival guide. So that's why it was important to me to point out how
Acknowledge.
just acknowledge
Right.
the growth, the
Yeah.
fact that you even fuck with us enough to even talk to us.
Hmm.
Go us. Hey,
So,
hey.
you know,
Okay.
because I can easily talk about this now because I'm really.
That means you're healing.
Just not there with that whole, because there was still some, like, even when I moved, and just, people who I know cared and just was sticking their nose there, and I was so mad. But at the same time, this other part was like, you gotta let it happen.
Okay.
You gotta let it happen. But at the same time, I was like, no. So I was finding stuff. Remember, I used to call and say, well, you ain't got this. Well, you don't know this. Well, this, because I'm still trying to maybe, because I didn't really know. I had become, what is that called? Dependent on that, for stuff. Right, to handle a picture. Well, who else gonna do it?
Right.
Like, go start creating my own relationship with the car man or whatever it was. I just wanted to just still dive into that.
Right.
But but then feeling like a piece of shit because girl, you can't even, you all in somebody else's shit right now.
Okay.
You know, you not even
Right. Yeah.
like you over
Yeah.
here. So yeah, it became like I was feeling like a real piece of crap for a minute. And now I can say, because some people say you can't be friends,
Mm-hmm.
but we absolutely can.
Oh,
Because
yeah, I
we
can.
were, that's what we were before. So, and now I can just really tell you, not you, but to say how I really feel like, ugh, you you know,
But that's great.
and I can,
But you
yeah,
have-
you are a real narcissist. You know, I can say all that.
But you established a boundary.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
And that is probably what your relationship prior to was lacking, was that maybe you felt so much gratitude, so much dependency that you did not have healthy boundaries. And so, like you said, you was friends before. Now you can be friends after, but that's because you've actually established a healthy
And I feel
boundary.
like good, like it ain't that little shaky, like even maybe go home and shed a little tear. Like,
Your voice hasn't cracked one time.
Now,
When
one
you're
time-
talking.
And you know,
and
there's
there's
a
never been another relationship. Like I'm okay. I don't even know what that looks like right now because
But I will say you brought up a point that I wanted to make earlier, and that is to those people who have come home from incarceration. When people offer assistance, don't devalue yourself because you're grateful that somebody's helping you
Because that's what happens.
all the time.
Yes.
I have rented to people, and my staff did a horrible job of getting their unit ready. One person I'm thinking of in particular. And for a long time, she just kept saying, well, I just want, I'm so grateful to have a place. I didn't want to complain. I don't want to complain. I don't want to complain. But after it went on for months, though, seriously. They should never have moved her in that condition, ever. I was horrified. But when it got to a place where it was just too much, and then, of course, I found out about it. But that was one time where I would say that people have a tendency when they come home, don't devalue yourself because you feel like somebody's helping you.
Not even just come home, you just feel broken. You just be grateful for any, as you call a handout or a hand up or a place to have, call your own a safe space. When you broken like that, everything, you don't want to say too much of nothing. Cause you feel like, you already feel like shit. So you don't want to ask somebody for nothing, cause what you do, you already feel like you already asked and you need help, but you don't want to ask for help, so you don't want to ask. So you're always gonna feel like that until you get to the safe place with yourself that you're not a piece of shit. Life is gonna happen. You just gotta learn how to respect self and set boundaries for yourself. I can't set no boundaries for nobody else. I only can set them for me.
Right. And the concept, be clear about this too. People have been incarcerated. The system is designed to make you feel less than human. It is very intentional about trying to tear down your soul. So you have to remember what you're up against and know that when you're broken like that, no matter at what level it worked or didn't work,
The programming.
right, the programming, whatever that is, you have to unprogram that, and you still have value no matter what anybody says. You have a question? Oh, okay.
No, you're on point because that's what they do is break you down there.
Yes. And one of the first things they do is they take your name and give you a number. That's not just because they didn't want to know your name.
Exactly.
That was by design. I gotta take your humanity.
So I got a call from someone. And so I finally asked the question, why you use your last name on the tablet? Because that's what they told us that we had to do. You know,
So his first name is not on the tablet, just his last name?
when you get the call, it says, like for me, it says Burton, you receiving a collect call from Burton. And I didn't say anything because I be trying to be as positive for my cousin as I can, but it really irritates the fuck out of me because I know first it's a recording. So that's what's on your tablet. You don't have to say it every time you make a call. It comes on automatic. So when they get their tablet, they have to say, they have to record. Somebody
set it up.
records it for them and sets it up. So every time they make a call out, it says their last name. And I know it probably they didn't want to say their number, but it's another stigma because
Right.
I don't know him as Burton.
Right.
Every time I hear Burton, it's in that visiting room.
That's what they call
You know what
it.
I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
It's like Burton. You know, you
Uh-huh.
see him pointing, sit over there, do all that. So it was like, and I'm like, I can't, I know I can't. He's calling me for advice. I know I can't project it onto him, but I don't know. Last week, it pissed me off because
Irritated
I'm
you.
like,
Yeah.
your name is not Bert, you
Right.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
Right.
but that's another, denigration,
Right.
you know.
And the crazy part is that each little bitty one,
Yep.
it does,
It's a
my
bucket.
brother used to say,
It's a
how do
bucket.
you eat the elephant one bite at a time?
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So if I can take it a little at a time,
Yep.
I don't have to do it all at once.
Right.
Right. When I bring you in and I strip search you,
Mhm.
like every little thing is designed in
Right.
that way.
Right. To
And
humiliate.
to humiliate and dehumanize, right? So then if I can get you, because see, once I get your mind, the body's gonna follow.
Rest shall follow.
It's gonna follow. Go ahead.
I do
Wait, but
think-
before you did you have anything? Because before B went again, I just want to make sure
I missed it. Did you raise your hand? Sorry.
Don't you just want to make sure that
Uh,
we heard all that?
Tommy, don't get involved in that.
Oh.
Okay, Shaka. Okay, go ahead, B.
If it's safe, I do think, I think to everyone's point, I heard a few times that maybe intimate relationships aren't the best if they are unhealthy. But I do think part of my experience over the last 9 months or on home confinement has been, I found that the healthy relationships have helped me have clarity on the bad relationships. And so I've almost clinged on to the positive relationships. The people who call me and say like, man, it's so good to have you back. Or can I, can I give you anything? Or are you good? Or, and genuinely mean it. Those people or the people that stuck with me through the process,
They
I
carry.
find that the healthy relationships offer clarity in terms of the unhealthy relationships, and that, all right, this is not that, and I need to get that out of my life because I don't have time for that right now. I got enough shit going on.
And to that point, I wanna define, because here I have very much, ever since I wrote my book, been very intentional about not saying good and bad relationships, because that is so subjective. What's it good or what's bad? What may be good to you may be bad for me, right? They don't mean the same thing. But when we're talking about a healthy relationship, based on the way that I was raised, in a spiritual teaching that I was raised in, but also my dad and my mom, they taught me, you don't just believe what it is that somebody say. You check in behind and underneath and all of that. But so I was raised to research and investigate stuff for myself. Don't just take it. So what I often do is when I'm asked to speak about something or a topic or whatever, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to investigate and I'm going to look up the definitions of the word. So the part of the definition, I've done this before. This isn't actually in my workbook, Her People Highway, the workbook, but at the very beginning, healthy is, and I'm going to just read the part that we're going to talk about. Implies appearance and behavior indicating soundness and balance. So it means that it's sound, it's on a good foundation, it's built from good stuff, and there's balance, which is what we find, or I know we've talked about it here more often than not. The imbalance is where relationships really become unhealthy. One person getting more than the other, one person's concerns or thoughts or issues are always paramount above somebody else's. So the balance is one of the things that is so often the issue in unhealthy relationships, as well as when I say soundness, think about what you build the relationship on. If you're building a relationship on lies, deceit, like you said, secrets, right? That right there, that's first going to tell you, yes, sir.
I'm about to say that tone too.
The tone of the relationship, meaning how y'all talk, how you communicate. Oh, absolutely, it matters. But because what that's an indication of normally is somebody unhealthy coming to the relationship, not having the ability to communicate in a healthy tone, right? So when people are looking for a healthy relationship, um, oftentimes people say this, like one of my least favorite statements. It was great in the movie Jerry Maguire, but it's bullshit, which is you complete me. Fuck you do. No, you don't. Can't nobody complete me. Can't nobody complete you. You either complete yourself or you're not.
They don't know.
Okay. And what needs to happen is two healthy people need to come together to have a healthy relationship, whether that's a friendship or otherwise. So that's that part. And then relationship. A state of affairs existing between those having relationships or dealings. So again, that's not necessarily just intimate. That's if we dealing with each other on any level,
It's a relationship.
it's a relationship. Everything is done by relationship. People hire people. Companies don't hire people. People hire people. Business is done on a relationship basis. My son has been in the entertainment industry for over 30 years, and people tend to hire the same people, whether it's crew, actors, whatever. People tend to work with the same people. Why? Number one, in that business, 12-hour days are like a short day. Like if they only had to work 12 hours, they're like, oh, this was a good day. We got off early. If you spend that much time at work, you spend more time with the people you work with than you do with the people you live with. So one of the things that's critical in the entertainment industry is to be easy to get along with. So the moody kind of person, up and down, nobody had time for that. There's a lot of money on the line, so you need to be dependable. But people, and then the creative process is very difficult, no matter how much experience you have at it or whatever. It's just a difficult process to create. So in that space, you need as much cohesion and things to go as well smoothly as possible, and people that you can create with. There are some people who, when they hear a problem arises, they're instantly looking at how can we fix it? How can we solve it? Some people want to just bemoan the fact that there's a problem. Oh my God, the world is going to fall apart because, well, in the entertainment industry, that is not where the people that you want around. So when people, and because there's typically so much money involved in those productions, everything is money. Time, every minute counts. Oh, I'm sorry.
I had a flash. I did that at the.
I'm sorry. We created a monster. We allowed Diane to do sleep on something, and now she's a monster, and all she wants. And she got to say quiet on the set call, and she ain't been right since. She ain't been right since. I'm sorry.
Right
I'm so
before that.
sorry. I'm so sorry. So anyway,
That's a good one though.
huh?
He said she wasn't right before that.
Oh, so you was over his co-signing, keep going with it? That's what you said? Okay.
Okay, so
The one that was
again, the importance, like one of the things I want to say about B is this. He didn't know what he didn't know. He didn't know what he needed. He had no idea. So he just came looking for work. And I knew him before he was incarcerated. And he hold on one second. Hey, Nah, can you do me a quick favor and let her know just to leave him on, just respond to that text and say, leave it on the couch, leave him on the porch. That's she's delivering my candles.
Okay.
Sorry about that, you guys. So he didn't realize what happened, how he had changed while incarcerated, or the underlying things, because again, remember, when they do this a little bit at a time, each little bitty thing changes who you are. And if you don't know it, it can happen so subtly that you don't really realize things have changed. And so I knew in talking to him, oh no, he needs to be here free to heal.
Mhm.
This wasn't, it was like, and you know what I got to do? I got to make it a part of his job for him to come here. Because if I had just left it up to him, because he didn't know what he didn't know, he wouldn't have come regularly, I don't think. I think he would have, because he thought he was okay.
So you made me your slave.
No, because I was paying motherfucker. So he would know slaves don't get paid, nigga. No.
You looked up.
I looked out. I was paying him to heal. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that's what he needed.
Right.
He didn't even know he needed it, Tony.
Right.
He didn't even know he needed that. Thank you so much. He didn't have a clue that what was going on, that there were things and changes that he was going to go through, feelings, emotions, and also issues at the halfway house that would frustrate him, that he needed to be grounded in so many other ways.
Who helps you?
And I think that
Mm.
if I can chime in on that, I
Mm.
think for me,
Mm.
when I listen to him, talk to him, he's super intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that becomes
A problem.
a detractor because you know, and it's a shame, but when you have that intelligence, because I have already seen it,
Mm-hmm.
you think, you know, I know A, B, and C, I know not to do this, I know not to do that, and you think I'll be able to.
I got it.
I'll
Yeah.
be able to do. And then, you know, there's all these things that you can't see because nobody gave you the 3D glasses. And I think that
because
is
they hide
choice.
it, and because they hide
They
it.
hide it
You
well.
know what it makes me think about, Tony, is when you have a baby, right?
Mhm.
When you have a baby, I don't care if we all collectively set a young woman down right now.
Mhm.
We could not tell her everything she would experience in childbirth.
No.
There's no way, like, we could not tell, not that we didn't experience it because we all had, but we couldn't tell her that because there's some things we don't remember.
Yeah.
Some things are removed from our memory, or else we wouldn't do that shit again. I was smart, I only did it once, but anywho, I'm
And
just
what
saying.
about the fact that we all experience it different?
That's another thing, right? Everybody's experience is different. So his, right, because like you say, that intelligence, that becomes a liability for him dealing with these people, right?
Absolutely.
Because you could see beyond what they're saying,
Mhm.
right? And that's frustrating.
Yep.
Not to mention the fact they would target him
Yeah.
because of that.
Oh yeah, for
Right.
sure.
So what typically has been what he was able to rely on,
Yeah.
became almost what do you, I want to say,
A cancer.
A liability.
a liability,
huge liability.
right?
Yeah.
And not because you didn't need it, because you still need it, right? But it was at odds with the people that had control over your life in that way.
It's not working in there.
Yeah, it don't work for them. No, This, that's where you go
Yeah.
and you leave your intelligence in the cell.
Right. They have no space for that.
But I think to that point, that's only if you're not willing to adapt.
Correct.
And that's only if you don't find other healthy relationships that can help you along the journey. So I think, he was like, he was a healthy relationship for me when I first went to county. We were
Mhm.
together for a year, but I was willing to listen to him, and he put me up on game and saying, this is how this person moves. This is this CEO. This is how this goes down. This is how they play this game. This is the card. This is how,
Mhm.
politics of it all. I was willing to adapt and listen, but I needed a healthy relationship in that environment where it was all new.
Yeah.
And and because of that, it's like, oh shit, this is a different world.
Yeah.
And so you have to be able to find those healthy relationships wherever they are, to help guide you and be willing to listen along that journey.
Absolutely.
And to that point,
Vice versa too.
uh-huh.
Yeah, you learn from one another.
Ready to just my anger about anything.
Uh-huh.
Then you be talking about like the corporate stuff. Then that calmed me down, made me think
Uh-huh.
So I think local. I was thinking what I know.
Uh-huh.
They tell me stuff.
And he
Expand
helped
your
put you up
mind.
on some other tools.
Because
Some
we all,
other tools to
we
use,
all learn,
yes.
yeah, we all learn from one another.
Exactly.
You know, no one in this one room possesses it all. There's no one in one room that you step in
Ever.
that possesses it all.
Ever.
And you talk about the healthy relationship, you first have to find it. And that's one of the caveats. Not everybody finds it. You first have to find it. And then once you find it and identify it, be humble enough to accept it. Because it happens all the time. But that doesn't mean that the person accepts it. It doesn't mean the person can even sometimes even identify it. So your trifecta worked for you. But you know, being in the halfway house, they can see coming from corporate America, they think they corporate, they can see you a mile away. Oh hell
But I
no.
do think you caught that. Well, one, you're right. It wasn't voluntary. I was forced to come here. So you're correct on that. But beyond that, I do say, you called it out in terms of many times the importance of balance is key.
Mhm.
Like even if you have a healthy relationship, at the same time, we were locked up in a cell together for 20, I think we were at a level 5 facility, so we only had 1 hour out a day, right? At the same time, I'm trying to mentor him. He's also mentoring me.
Mhm.
I find hope in trying to show him some things one day. He, finds, honor and, looking out for me in an environment that's different. And so I think I forgot the quote that says many times the mentor gets as much out of the
Oh,
mentee
yeah.
relationship.
Oh, absolutely.
And so I do think there's a symbiotic relationship that exists or balance, however you want to call it. There's a balance that exists in healthy relationships, even when it comes from unexpected places.
Absolutely. It's one of the things, because it just I can't remember which one you guys were saying it, but again, about the fact that there was something you didn't know that I knew. And I was willing to share that with you, to help you, because again, you can't even ask for what you don't know you need.
Yep.
Right? How can you even ask?
Mhm.
You can't. It's too, it's impossible if you don't know what you don't know. And so you can't, again, if somebody doesn't tell you and they don't put you in a position to understand that, you would miss it. Right? Again, yes, I did make him come here to save his own foolish neck. Okay. I was saving him from him because he didn't even know he needed saving. Now, what I didn't know is he low key got a little death wish because he be messing with Diane, and that's a whole nother topic that we'll talk about another day. So anyhow, I want to open it up. I want y'all to talk back to me. What y'all thinking? What's going on with y'all? Talk to me. Yes, ma'am.
I was thinking because when you pose the questions of coming out, and we always go back in and think about stuff, right? So inside, you have the women who come in with low self-esteem, and it just gets worse for them, right?
Mhm.
So coming out, what kind of relationship are they gonna be in? They're gonna go back into harmful relationships that got them in, because a lot of them are there for men, and you could always tell the difference in the feds with girls who came in for a man or with a man. But stay here. I'm talking to Jack Burton, the man who runs the kitchen one day. I'm right here talking to him because he got some $30,000 ovens I have never seen in my life, and I'm saying stuff to him, and this girl comes up and says, "Miss Ward, can you ask him?" And I said, "He's right here." She said, "No, can you ask him?" And she said the question to me. And I'm thinking like, what? But that's how a lot of them, they have no confidence and stuff. And then we were at that prison. They had the man for 17 years, and they put them out and put us in there, and they treated us horribly.
Yeah.
So unless you have strong constitution and can talk back to them and write them up, then you fall into their plan to
Destroy.
yes.
Yeah, and it's so easy to, one of the things I found, being inside institutions for years is something you just touched on. And that is the nature of brokenness. Brokenness leads to a lot of things. It'll lead you to stay in situations you have no business in. It will lead you to accept things that you should not accept. It will lead you to surround yourself with people who are not worthy of you and who don't mean you any good because you don't value who you are, because you don't know you have a value. So it's very important to understand that whatever you have or don't have, you still have value. You still have value. I don't care what they told you. I don't care what your crime was. I don't care. Even if it was stealing, I mean, look, I just have to say I love the fact that he raised a concern to me about something and I just had to inside joke. So no matter what your crime is, I don't think that anybody should be judged by the worst thing they ever did in their life forever. Nobody. That doesn't mean, and I see you. Go ahead. You wanted to say something, Chester?
I just want to say, for me, having a healthy relationship, first of all, you got to value yourself, like you're saying. You have to value yourself. You have to be able to communicate and have confidence and know the people that you're with and the people that you're around. It's like you said, when the girl didn't have the confidence to ask the other person. It's a lot of people come out of prison like that, scared to talk. But you have to learn when you're in prison. You have to learn who you are. We went to them classes. I went to them classes to learn who I am. I have flaws, but at the same time, I also have to have the confidence to be who I am. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And get to know the
And to
person.
understand that you, whatever room you're in, you belong in that room, right? Wherever you find yourself, you earned your way there. So, and even like Rufus said, even if you didn't have it, you got there. You there.
You're there.
So make
Right.
the best of that and don't let somebody make you think that somehow you shouldn't be there.
Know who you are. Know who you are.
Yes, it's so important. It's so important. And brokenness, hurt people hurt people. It's the
Yeah.
truth. And it can lead to more hurt. So again, why we're all together to heal those wounds. We're not here, like, that's why we have to be honest with each other, right? That's why it's important to acknowledge growth when we see it. That's why I also share so much about my own personal journey with you guys, because sometimes it's easier for you to learn looking at me than it is to look at you. And since I think I'm crazy, too crazy not to care what anybody think anyhow. Yeah, I think I'm
Amen.
right. I just don't care. Yeah, because I am who I am. The good, the bad, the cookie eating ugly. You know what I'm saying? You're a gangster.
Awesome.
You're a gangster. Bang bang boogie to, no, I'm not. No. That's what he said. Boogie to the bang bang. No. Fuck gangster. No, I'm not. She just insists. She just insists. Rufus, I don't know why she do that, but I don't know why.
Okay.
Oh, so one of my one of my a person that fired himself from my job told unemployment that I was gang affiliated and that I made sure that everybody knew.
Okay, quick.
I was gang affiliated.
Okay, quick.
Okay, that's what I say. Bang bang boogie bang.
Okay.
Oh, what would you say, nigga? Oh no. Okay, no. So what I'm saying is, look, I am a project baby. I did broke in the hood. Yes, proud project baby, whatever. But I can't go. What he didn't tell them was how I sat him down and he cried to me for 3 hours and I was trying to help him. And when I realized he didn't want no help, then I had to back up. See, because that's the other thing. He didn't tell him that part. But the one thing I have learned is, and I think this is something that we all should think about, and that is you can only help somebody that wants help.
Hello. Yep.
You can't I've had to learn that I can offer what I can offer, but a person has to be willing to receive it. And then the other side of that is if you ask somebody for advice, take the damn advice, right? Don't, it irritates me. People do this all the time. They ask me for advice and then no one do nothing. I said, well, why? It's me. I got a million things to do. I could be doing nothing. If nothing else, sitting at home scratching my butt, taking a nap. Damn it, a nap, my favorite pastime. Okay? So don't waste people's time if you're not going to take their information or take their advice, don't ask. Right? Keep doing what you've been doing. Getting what you've been getting. Okay? Ain't nothing that you don't have to. You know, so I say again, it's very important to surround yourself. I would say surround yourself with the people that are doing what you want to do. If you want to be a carpenter, if you have to go on a construction site and just sit and watch. I know a man got put on, we were building 74 units, and the man, he wanted to do block. And he came to the site and he asked the superintendent, can I work for free? Can I work for free to show you what I can do? And he got put on. His problem was that he was a crackhead. That was the only problem he had. But he got put on by being there and working for free to do the work. So put yourself in a position, be willing to do what it takes to get where you're trying to go. Surround yourself with the kind of people that you want to be. Be around the kind of people you want to be.
Well, I don't want to hang around Tony because she's mean, but I love her. She never wants to give me a hug. So I have to let that be known right now.
Wow.
Yeah, I did. I have to let that out my chest because she's going to be mad, but it's okay. She'll get over it.
And who do you love?
Well,
Everybody.
okay, well, thank you for sharing, Diane.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Okay. So I'm gonna go to our folks online. And I'm gonna ask you to unmute everybody and chime in and let me know what your thoughts are. I want to deal with the people online first. Umberto,
She is me.
Carlos, you want to unmute and tell me your thoughts? Check out for me. Rufus, if you could go ahead and check out while they're working on getting themselves unmuted.
Okay. You guys said a lot, and I mean, in my mind was just going, all over the place. But one thing, first things first. Like you say, hurt people, but I was also told heal people. So,
Yes.
and yeah, I like that. I like that. And another thing I want to say, Roberta. It's there she goes. See, I was
Rufus,
gonna comment on that at the end because I was wondering when I thought I had to be there to see her, but this is good enough. This makes my night. How you doing? How
All
you
right, how
doing?
you doing?
Wonderful, wonderful.
I still ain't got my neck bones.
We just gotta go. We're just gonna have to go and get it together.
okay, that's all right.
But look,
So what was you going to say to Roberta, sweetie?
Roberto, I guess I don't want to say it's working. This group, I mean, I'm surprised she spoke up. I didn't even know that was her because she do be quiet. So that was surprising to me to hear.
I'm going
That
home.
was surprising for me to hear her because she don't really. Last time I was here, she didn't talk a lot.
Thank
So
you.
that's amazing.
Isn't that
I like
growth?
that.
Isn't that awesome?
Thank you, Rufus.
Right.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's
That's
awesome.
wonderful.
She'll be gone already by now. Matter of fact.
Right.
Yeah, remember
Yeah,
you should be gone already.
Yes.
Come on now.
That's awesome.
But the comment on on the relationship thing, I believe that it's two things. One, to say that that a person shouldn't get out of prison and get into a relationship. I believe that in so many in to some extent, right? Because who you can't tell a person that they ain't ready. You know what I mean? It's subjective. You can't tell them they ain't ready because they believe they are. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Right.
it- but me personally, I think I swam so much in the bottom. I hit rock bottom and swam down there so long for years that I had to kind of slowly work my way out of that to where I do understand who I am. And like Chester said, you got to understand who you are and what you're willing to accept. And once you're solid in that, then you can go out and get a relationship. You can come out of prison and jump it. I don't want to say jump into a relationship, but form a relationship or work on or work towards a relationship because you know I know what I'm accept. You know what I mean? So,
Right, but like you
and I know
said, once you've done that work though, once
once
you've
you've
done
done
that
that work, yeah,
work,
once you've done that work and understand who you are and what you willing to accept and what you're not willing to accept, then it's there's nothing wrong with it. But
right,
you can't tell a person that hey you're ready or you're not ready or because they're not going to believe it. They believe what they believe and they believe that they are ready for a relationship until they get into it and see other things and then be like, and don't know how to handle it or whatever. But me personally, I just feel like when I see if you do something that I won't do to you, I'm not saying it's just cut and dry, but if you do something that I won't do to you, that's unacceptable for me. You know what I mean?
yes.
And
Hmm.
it's like, and I'm not saying it's a game changer, but I might give that one shot, that chance. Okay, we're gonna work on that. You didn't know no better. You know what I mean? But it definitely won't be a second time. But then it's sometimes it's just an absolute game changer for me from the beginning. It's
Right,
like a person say, "Well, if you could leave that easy, you didn't love me." No, if you wouldn't have did what you wouldn't have did, if you wouldn't have did what you did, I wouldn't take this position.
right. But
That's what it
what
is for
love
me.
got to do with it, boo boo? Because see,
But
if you ain't acting
love
right,
had
what's my
nothing.
love got to do with any of it? Yeah,
Right,
see,
exactly.
yeah, people
So
want to tell you that's like the word we talked about last time, family. Yeah,
yeah,
okay, just because we family don't mean I got to put up with you verbally abusing me and all that kind of stuff. No, no,
right.
and
So
my
that's what
love,
I
I
got to
may
say
love you,
about
but that don't mean I have to let you abuse me.
Oh, I missed that one.
yeah.
Hmm.
That's what I have
Exactly.
to
That's
say about
awesome.
that. But thank you for letting
Thank
me
you.
see Tony too.
Yes, and then you gotta come. You gotta come and see us. You guys have to come see us. So Carlos, you're unmuted. You want to say anything? Check out for us. Mm.
No,
Oh, my head.
no, it's
Huh?
okay. Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, you're
In the
welcome.
room. Absolutely.
I enjoyed the topic tonight. I enjoyed all the facial expressions from my friends
In the peanut gallery.
in the peanut gallery.
Uh-huh.
It's like Tony's right now, but
Uh-huh.
thank you for having us.
All I did was look at you.
That's
I
what
didn't
right
say
now.
a
Yeah, you
word.
don't have to look at your
I mean,
face. Look at your
You
face.
have command of the
Your
room
face.
because you're talking.
Your face.
All I did was look over at
Your
you and
face.
give you my undivided attention.
Your
If you got a
face.
problem with the shit,
Your
like
face.
I can't with this.
Your
Shit.
face.
Excuse me.
Your
And
face.
would you like to check out anything?
Ain't no check out on all of that.
Nope. Anything you want to take away from me,
Face.
nice sweetheart?
Your face.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Don't you start.
All this progesterone in the room.
Communication, real communication. And I got a lot from y'all women.
Don't do that.
Good.
You'll jump your
Nah,
ass
I'm
here.
for real. Y'all was saying a lot of stuff that made sense.
Awesome.
I didn't heard
Bullshit.
it.
Good job.
And it makes sense. Yeah,
You said it.
that's awesome.
You never get it right.
Yeah,
Okay.
you see how she flipped on you?
I'm talking.
That's the one. That's why she'll do it. And I ain't even talking on women that was locked up.
Okay.
Me, so I got y'all.
Like knock it.
What? Huh?
Okay, wait, nothing. Tony, would you like to check out for us, darling?
Thank you, sir.
Whew.
Oh, thank you.
I digress. Like, there isn't a topic that I can't find my way into based on, my whole life story, So I appreciate it all because there's so much to be said and, so little time to do it. So I appreciate everybody's perspective. I don't know what Diane is over there whispering behind me. But I appreciate everybody's personal perspective because I am a firm believer in, everybody in here, whether you're on that phone or whether you're personally in here, has some valuation that belongs here. So
Yes,
I appreciate it.
absolutely. B, thank you.
I
Trying to
just,
shut me up.
I can't give a compliment.
Go ahead.
I just feel thankful to be, bring someone here. That means a lot to me. I felt like this was a safe space, even though it's very dangerous from some people. But I do feel like it is a safe space for growth, and to expand just how you feel and how you're thinking about things. Like, many times, like I have different points. I'm like, what am I feeling right now? What am I going through? And so it helps me to have these conversations, even though, like I said, it is dangerous sometimes.
Okay,
So I'll leave it at that.
thank you, Ms. Ward.
If when you guys spoke about the worthiness of a person, if a person can learn to be worthy when they've gone in and they haven't been worthy, then they can come out and they will have boundaries. But you can be strong and still come out and want a relationship with a person because you haven't grown and you haven't been loved in there that kind of way, right? So you come out and you do crave that. People want that. They've been there and they do want to be with somebody, but it's a harsh reality to get with somebody and you don't even know what you like out on this side of the fence yet, right?
Yes.
So
The concept of knowing what you like, I always love when you say that because whatever you liked before you went in may have changed. And now that there are more options and things, people don't always know what they like at this point.
Yep.
So getting to know yourself, one of the things that Diane and I have talked about often is when you spend time alone, how much growing you can do. But when you spend time alone, typically you are getting to know who you are. And there are things about you that are being revealed that need to be fixed or otherwise, or skills or things that you have, gifts that you have are being revealed. And a lot of people are afraid to spend time alone. They spend so much time being busy because they don't want to stop and look at who they are and what they're going through and what they need to correct. And it's easier to say, well, let me help you, or let me help you, let me help you, when all the while I'm broken and in pieces and I need to be helped. So don't be afraid to spend time with yourself.
Can I say I like cookies? Tony makes cookies. I want her to know that I like cookies.
So to that point, though, I do want to mention a lot of times we talk about like relationships, like intimate relationships. And I'll just say bump that sometimes. Like at the end of the day, like this group of people that I've watched over the last 9 months, it's like a core family, and it's not a intimate relationship in the sense of like
It's very intimate.
in the sense of
Sexual.
traditional sexual, but it is an intimate family unit.
Yes.
So I think about healthy relationships. I just look at you guys and think about how like some people drop off stuff, how some people bring lunch to each other. You make cookies sometimes. I think the platonic relationships, I think sometimes get understated in our transition.
The value of
society.
them. The
So
value of
it's,
those, yeah.
So
The
just think
value
about
of
that.
having those platonic relationships. A lot of growth can happen because they create the safe spaces. That's what create that safe space because a lot of times it's harder to be really vulnerable in intimate partner relationships because you're worried about how you look. And I can tell you that as a woman, and most women that I know, we don't do well with the man that we're intimately involved with in that way criticizing us. It takes on a different hurt. There's a different level to receive that's like, ooh, you know what I'm saying? So oftentimes that's the case. The platonic relationships wind up being easier to be vulnerable in. And we've talked about vulnerability here before and the importance of being vulnerable because we avoid it, but it is in our vulnerability where we can be helped, where we can be given what we need. We can be fed, we can be cared for, but we first have to be willing to be vulnerable enough to say that we need help or we want help or we feel upset or we feel hurt. There's nothing wrong with that because everybody feels it. And because society, in particular with men, has given men the impression that they shouldn't have emotions, it's very difficult a lot of times for men to express their emotions.
Right.
So that's a interesting thing.
And I can check, and sometimes as a guy, our friends can check us, and then that's not like, hey, you can't be talking to a girl like that on the phone, or like, hey, you know you're wrong for that, or like, they can see what we can't see, and they can check us in a different way. That if our girls try to talk to us like that, they'll be like, oh, you don't get it. Versus like if our dudes come and say like, hey,
right,
you out of pocket right now, or
right.
like, or say like, hey, that isn't a healthy relationship. That's not what you need right
You need to let her go.
Yeah, that ain't it. So I think something about that relationship, I think, is important for checks and balances.
Good. Any check out for me, babe?
No. Not that I was going to give it. I just want to say, thank you guys for being my sounding board. Yeah, I could really talk tonight just about that part right there and how, I don't know, it's something that's been released for real. It is. It's truth. It's truth. Because I was stuck for, and just like you talked about some people not being, not wanting to be by themselves. Like I'm super okay with that. Like the things I've been learning, like that the Joni put your head on my that song. I was like, oh shit, I'm so corny, but I freaking love that kind of music. That I don't even know what kind of it's from the Happy Days. Just things like that. And I'm just like really.
Yeah, but you like Boy George, you corny as
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's okay. And we
okay.
just like that too. And I'm grateful. I am super honored, honestly, that us coming together has allowed you to feel comfortable, but you proved what I said early on, which is in order to heal, you gotta verbalize it, you gotta talk about it. And it's crazy because you say now you feel like a release, like something actually got released, right? And it's just an ability to talk. It's the strangest thing, but I had a revelation. Let me tell you why. God said, let there be light. He said, let there be light, and there was light. So that's why you gotta talk it. You gotta say it to make it real. A lot of times people avoid saying something, naming it, because they don't want that to be the case. But the reality is that if you're going to make it real, you got to declare it, but you got to declare it because he did that first. He said it, and thus it became so. So with that note,
and I love the fact that I'm not angry. Like
yes,
I'm not angry.
You're okay.
Yeah, because I took responsibility for my part.
Hey, to do it.
Like shit,
that's another whole thing, right? That's
I
a
didn't even have to let
whole.
it go on that long.
That is a whole topic in and of itself, and that is the only way I know to heal is to accept my responsibility in my part in whatever it was. I could not, as long as I was looking at the other person and pointing my finger, why would he do this to me? Why would he treat me that way? I was just in constant pain. The minute, and it was the hardest day of my life. The hardest thing I've ever done was to admit that all the pain that I was in, all the pain that I had been subjected to for years was my fault. Why? Because I participated. When I should have walked away, I did. It didn't excuse his behavior, but he couldn't hurt me if I didn't give him access. But that was so painful. To this day, the most painful thing I've ever experienced and had to admit. I hated it. I've lost both parents, 2 siblings, a bunch of stuff. But that was not as painful as that revelation.
Why?
But guess what happened? Because I had to acknowledge that I was full of shit.
Were you really full of shit?
I was. I didn't know what I didn't know.
So were you
Right.
really full of shit?
So maybe that's not the right way to say it,
Yeah,
right?
that's not the right word.
But whatever.
Every time you say that,
Yeah.
I don't comment. But
But
were you
whatever
really
it
full of
was.
shit? Getting to the point of the acknowledgement was that the equation, or the sum of the parts. Because you had to get there. You understand?
Yes.
Everything's either a lesson or a blessing.
Correct.
So were you really full of shit?
Well, maybe not. But what I did do is
I think you
participated.
disrespected yourself.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
get the participation
I accept
piece
that.
of it. Because
I accept that. I
because
accept that.
you see that mirror? I get the participation point, but were you really full of shit? Because I don't think that I was full of shit. I think that those pieces led me there. Some pieces kept me there. But when I finally realized I am not gonna make $1 out of 15 cents, then I said it's going to that's it.
Right.
But was I given those pieces, and did I accept some pieces?
And I had to
and
take
so on?
those. I had to take those lessons. So yeah. So maybe I wasn't full of shit, but whatever it was, though, whatever term, wherever I was or was not, my participation led me to so much, to all of that hurt and pain. And once I could acknowledge that and I could verbalize it to myself, then I could heal from it. I could release it. And that allowed me, but the beauty, what I want everybody to know is in that painful moment, the one revelation we don't want to hit, once you acknowledge it and you can speak it, a beautiful healing and an empowerment came on the other side of that. Because the empowerment for me was it would never happen again.
Not another
It would
time.
never happen again. I have never been that devastated by anything from that day to this day because I learned that lesson. So I just want to tell you guys, check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram.
We on Thread.
It's gonna be on
No.
TikTok too.
Well, yeah, soon to be on TikTok. And what were you saying?
Threads.
Oh, Threads, no, not on there yet. We got some expanding to do. Please leave us comments. Also, if you have any particular topics you want us to talk about, let us know. We're so glad to have you guys, and we'll see you guys next week on another session of Free to Heal.
All
All right.